Hey guys, hope you are going well and welcome back. It's another recap of Penny Dreadful. This week it's episode 4 with a blade of grass. This has to be my all-time favorite type of episode to look forward to when we come to seasons of Penny Dreadful because it is a self-contained flashback episode. Now I'm labeling it flashback episode, that's not entirely accurate in this case, but we've seen flashback episodes in the past seasons. In season 1 we had an entire flashback episode called Closer Than Sisters, which really explored the relationship between Vanessa and Mina, everything like an entirely separate timeline that was in the past pre the beginning of season 1. So it really got to give you a really well-rounded understanding of backstory, and I loved it. I just loved the break from the current narrative. In season 2, the flashback episode got to explore in a great detail the relationship between Vanessa and the cutwife out on the English moors. The cutwife takes her under her wing, so to speak, and they're very tumultuous love-hate relationship. It was absolutely fascinating, a wonderful episode. So I was suspecting this would be an entire flashback episode, and that is essentially what it is. We begin exactly where we left off at the end of the last episode, and Vanessa is in the office with Dr. Seward demanding that she be put under hypnotherapy in order to explore a repressed memory of a time when she met the master. Now everything that follows is within these 4 padded walls of the clinic, the asylum, I don't know exactly what to call it, and it is brutal and shocking and isolated, and Eva Green doing her best crazy eyes that she just does so well. I loved how in the padded room it was essentially void of any external music. It was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop at times when she's in there and just scratching away at the walls in this really like hypnotic type of rhythm, and it was incredible. And then there were moments in there that were really poignant and heartfelt, and the sort of tinkly piano music just really came in and it was so emotional. In the padded room there are no windows, there is no way to tell if it is night or day, and we know that previously Vanessa told us she spent 5 months in this room, so the only way that she is able to measure any sort of passage of time moving forward is by the orderly bringing her food. And the orderly is Caliban, as was revealed at the end of last episode. So the two of them do have a pre-existing relationship that it seems neither of them quite was able to connect. But it made me stop and think of their meetings in the past and how there was a time when they were talking about poetry, and Vanessa always felt at such ease with Caliban, or John Clare, that's what he was calling himself. And there was a moment when she looked really closely, she looked into his eyes, and I'm pretty sure she said he had really lovely eyes. And that made me think back to that, because in this moment here, when she is retelling her experience to Dr. Seward, she says that he has very nice eyes. I absolutely love this episode. To me, it was just a standout. The turning point when Caliban begins to form a connection with Vanessa in a very real way is when he brings her food and puts it on the floor, and she's sitting on the bed and she just keeps saying, "Bring me the food," and he won't bring it to her. He says, "Get it yourself." And it's, you know, a lot of subtext about him wanting her to make herself well, to do what she needs to get better, to leave, and she won't help herself, so she keeps demanding throughout this conversation, she keeps demanding for him to bring her the plate of food. She just keeps saying it, "Bring me the food," and he keeps saying no. And it's just such a well-written scene. It's an amazing scene. To round out talking about this episode, I thought it was brilliant how they characterized or sort of portrayed the evil, the demons they personified it, because it's even more scary that way than actually showing us the demons in some sense. So by possessing the skin of Caliban and having 2 Calibans standing there in the single room, one being Lucifer, one being Dracula, how cool to get a sense of this family tree finally, to really put a name to an entity of evil. And that's why she keeps demanding, who are you? What shall I call you, my beloved? Because once she puts a name to it, then there is a way to fight it. Do you know what I mean? She now just needs to put a face to that name. That is Dr. Sweet, who I still cannot forgive. I'm still mad at him for turning out to be Dracula because I liked him at the beginning. And now that Vanessa has a very real purpose, she has drive, and I feel like we won't see her floundering or wallowing anymore. She has a real purpose to serve, and she is going to be hunting down Dracula big time. They are my thoughts on this week's Penny Dreadful. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Do you love these self-contained little flashback episodes as much as I do? I just think it is so awesome to get such a concentrated look at Vanessa's character every season. It is awesome. I love how this show does this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next week. Bye.